What's brewing in Austin, Texas?
Yo,
How about
yo.
that? How about that storm last night that you slept through, Kevin?
I'll tell you, the best thing I've ever done is get hooked on noise. So I sleep with pink noise right here on my phone. It's amazing. I love it.
All right. Well, I thought you maybe were hooked on phonics, so that's good.
I'll tell you who doesn't like it though. Anyone that doesn't use noise and then has to sleep in the same room with me, they don't like it.
Noise cancellation's where it's at. That's what earplugs are for.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. Aside from our weather and our crazy weather, I mean, it's summertime, springtime in Austin, Texas. What are you going to do? Like, it's just, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. Kind of like the rates that are bouncing around, it seems.
That is, yeah. It's been I wouldn't say a wild ride. It's been one of our favorite, but it's been a little bit crazy. And it sticks to the theme that I always say, like ride out these peaks and lock in these valleys, and it keeps continuing to happen. And everyone sits on the sidelines, and then we see a rush to people refinancing or making purchases, and we see numbers spike. And it's one of those that that we talk about, and I try to relay all the time is don't wait till you're ready. Get ready. Be prepared because it's going to come back around. And here we are again, inflation at bay and rates. The 10-year Treasury has moved since, what do I want to say? If I look at my chart here really quick, I mean, I could pull it up. Why don't I do that, Jennifer?
Go for it, Kevin.
I pull up this chart. If you look at this chart in the last 5 days, so down on the bottom, those are the days, 5th, 6th, 9th, 10th. So we were down at this way last week. We got ADP numbers. They were really poor, meaning that it looked like, the economy is receding. Everyone gets excited, push rates really low. We were down below 4.35. And then we got non-farm payrolls on Friday. Everyone got a little bit spooked heading into it. And then we saw those non-farm payroll numbers come in a little bit higher than expected. I think that they still sucked. I've been one on the sidelines chanting, those numbers are overrated. Don't believe the hype. And it's kind of proving out. I think nobody really believed the hype. However, everyone was kind of on the sidelines till we saw inflation numbers this week. And although you saw the media paint the picture yesterday, I just made a comment on a LinkedIn article. What is it? Inflation beats estimates or inches up slightly. The big message out of it is it's lower than forecast. It's significantly lower than forecast. And the tariffs, if anything, are having very little impact on pricing and inflation. And that's great news. So we can see we were on the 5th and 6th, we were at 4.35. We go all the way back up to 4.5. And now today, this morning, it keeps creeping down. We're at 4.357. I mean, huge moves. Like you said, it's like the weather. It's up, it's down. And those are significant moves. I mean, those are, quarter point to 3/8 difference in interest rates. It's significant.
So I just thought it'd be fun maybe if we pull up a chart then speaking of charts, because I love charts too. So I'm going to just pull up a quick chart here for us with the Unlock MLS and share this with you. And I want you to take a look. First of all, we're going to start with this cute little county known as Bastrop and what is happening in Bastrop. So I'm super bullish of all the counties outside of Austin right now, Williamson County, Hayes, Comal, you name it. I am super bullish right now on Bastrop for a number of reasons. And as you're looking at the market pricing right here for the county, we had this peak, but look at this as we go through right here. We're still hovering in a really nice, affordable price point. You've got the median, it's well below the median price point of, what's going on in the nation. And when we look at demand, check this out. I mean, look at this. And this is really quite special because you've got the Elon effect, obviously, with what he's got going there. You've got, Austin, obviously, there's affordability, right? And so Bastrop is way more affordable. You've got SpaceX, the Boring Company. Elon's actually planning his own little town called Snailbrook for his employees. You've got the Hyperloop Plaza that he's built out there, the Boring Bodega. And then, of course, you've got X, formerly known as Twitter, out there. So there's so much going on there that if I were a betting person, I would say buying there either as an investor or as a first time buyer, or somebody who's looking to move and get out of the city and into the burbs. For me, it's the number one place.
It's a great place. It's been on my radar. It's funny. I was down here. I tell people this from 06 to 09. I actually had an apartment down here, ran mortgages, had an office at the Omni building downtown. And I love Bastrop. I love Bastrop back then. Just the proximity between the airport is basically in the middle, right? So You go Bastrop, airport, Austin. And it took really till the pandemic for people to kind of really realize how cool Bastrop is, and the downtown's unique and stuff like that. They got to fix that damn road, though. They have to, because I've been looking out in Smithville, which is the next town over.
Yep.
Smithville will be the next town to really explode and just keep kind of moving along in the next 5 to 10. That's the 5 to 10 year play. So moving out that way, like you just spoke about.
Yep.
Shit, man, they got to fix that road. All those stoplights, we need to be moving. We need to be fast.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be fast.
Yeah, we all want to be fast. I think the nice part about Bastrop, though, is also you've got hiking, you've got so much beautiful stuff out there, which I think of all the counties, it is to me got the most going for it. But you're right, and it's part of the infrastructure, as we've talked about it on the show before, like the infrastructure that we're seeing here in the city proper, with the lanes that are going on, with the new the light rail downtown, all that stuff out to the airport. Things are going to start coming, and who knows, maybe Elon will do something that he'll bore out to the airport and make Bastrop one of those places where it'll be the quickest county to, I don't know.
Well, and
get to the airport.
The hard part from a political standpoint is now you got to get two counties talking to each other. Who's gonna put in what, right? Because you're connected.
Always.
And I mean, we know that's going to take a little while. So hot on the area, love it. I mean, the median price point is great. You can get some great land out there. I mean, that's another opportunity that we haven't discussed, is the opportunity to just go buy some land, build whatever the hell you want. I mean, the world's your oyster out there. It's a little bit different environment. So
yeah, but it's not that easy to buy land. Like, I know Elon has 400 plus acres out there. So how much land is readily available that is quote unquote a deal? Can you find a plot for a single family home for the odd buyer? That's a little bit different. But to really buy land out there is not easy at all right now. It's really not.
Well, good. I like that area. Good point, Jennifer.
Oh, I get the first point.
That's right. We are keeping tallies here, y'all.
Yeah. So you were talking earlier about the economy and the numbers.
Look at that. I mean, PPI just came out, and here's the other thing I'm watching. Go ahead, ask your question, then I'll make my.
Go ahead.
So we saw CPI yesterday come out. Core CPI was at 0.1%. The forecast was for 0.3%. And then you get the media in the background saying, hey, it inched upward. So again, just trying, I'm always against the media because I think they're a day late and a dollar short. That's number one. And they just want to paint things always in a political nature, right? Nobody wants these tariffs. The tariffs are bad, blah, blah, blah. We don't like the administration. How about this? We're moving in the right direction as an economy. Inflation seems to be receding. That's a great thing. What a great message. The other thing we just had, PPI just came in, Producer Price Index. Negative 0.1, expected up 0.2. That's pricing that producers are paying for goods. Amazing, which means they can turn that over to the consumer. And then the other thing that I've really been talking about, that non-farm payroll number sucked last week. I'm sorry. It's bad. There was 695,000 people not even really looking for jobs that are out of the labor force since last one. They had revisions down 95,000. I get the number came in a little bit higher, but it still sucked. And what I'm seeing is the trend of initial jobless claims is the one job labor related data set we get on the weekly. And every week I've been noticing for the last 5 weeks, it's just over the forecast, just ever so slightly. So in my opinion, what's happening is the labor market is a lagging indicator. The economy is softening. There's no doubt about it. It looks like inflation is receding. And what's going to happen is the labor market's going to become more apparent that we are moving to a slower economy and therefore some level of recession. And that is going to force the Fed to make rate cuts. They meet next week. That's kind of the big news, which is not really big news if you think about it, because they're not going to do a damn thing. The big news will be, what do they say? Hey, what up, Cooper? The big news is going to be he's on the other side.
There you go. He's having a good time.
What's up, buddy?
There you go.
The Coop. Oh, does he have something to say?
He might. We'll find out.
But that to me is the big news that everyone seems to be kind of missing. And that's why I'm always like, I put out a daily video because I study this shit. I look at stuff and I think the writing's on the wall for what's coming. Am I saying it's not going to be bumpy? No, because at any moment the administration could say something, or the recently announced China deal could actually be released and traders thinks it sucks and it's not good and whatever. But that's where we're at right now. I mean, this is a really great week for data, and it's good that we're back to data. And it's a really good week for all of us in this real estate space of we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. Well, unfortunately, if you were waiting, now the lower rates are going to be here today and tomorrow. Where are you to take advantage of those of you who've been sitting on the sideline saying, I want interest rates at this level? Well, they're here and you're not ready.
Yeah.
So anyway. How about that soapbox?
How about how do you like them apples?
Yeah.
I love it. So I would love to talk about our inventory in Austin right now. We're at our peak potentially. I guess we'll see next month, but as of this week, because I track week by week, we have almost 17,000 units available in and around Austin. So percentage wise, though, everything is pretty status quo. 47%, just under 47% are under $500,000. If you look at the 500 to 749, you've got another 23%. So that's right there, a huge chunk. And then from 750 to 999, you're looking at another 12%. So it's obviously we know what our sweet spots are, but again, what I love about Austin and being in the city is that between the million and 2 million, we've got 11%. So we're, not that far off of the houses that are 750 to 999 and the houses that are $1 million to 2 million. So it just goes to show you the health of the economy here in Austin. I'll pull up a chart in a little bit. But I'm just I'm just watching how we've just been so smooth in this transition that no matter how many houses come in, our percentage of homes is staying relatively the same as it pertains to, financial abundance. No changes there, just actual total volume, which means buyers have choices. And right now, as we know in Austin, it is a buyer's market.
Well, and I think the other not really a missing point, but something, that we talk about, but I don't think I heard you mention is If that's the case in this environment and the
Yep.
numbers are still good, they're consistent, when rates drop, you're going to
It'll
miss
be
the
a
boat.
frenzy.
You're not going to have as many options. You're not going to have the ability to negotiate like you do today. Like
Yep.
that's going to shift. It's going to happen fast because once we get on this train, and in my opinion, once this labor market really starts to rear the fact that it is in somewhat of a recession area, we are going to see lower rates. We are going to see the Fed cut the first time in September. It's going to spark interest. And once that interest starts to build up, you as a buyer are going to lose negotiating power. It's just
Yep.
how it happens.
Yeah, and if you look right now, if you turn around and you look at we're just going to look at Travis County alone. So we just looked at Bastrop earlier, and we know that the median price out in Bastrop is $350. Okay, so when we look at just Travis County, so the core right around Austin proper, we get rid of all the other counties. You can see we're kind of holding steady in here with our market pricing. And that is a to me a buy signal. If you are a buyer, it is holding steady. If you are a seller, though, I'm going to be honest with you. If you haven't already got it on the market, then you are going to be fighting as a seller because there is so much inventory to get your numbers. You need to be absolutely priced right out of the gate if you plan to beat the market for what we're doing. Because here is the buyer demand chart right there. So let's just call it what it is. This is cyclical, right? So you can see right here all the way from 2010 how it works and what is happening year after year. But right now, obviously, we're still way up. People are, saying, "Is Austin going down?" No, Austin as a city is literally being built up and up and up with the amount of money putting into the infrastructure and the towers that we're getting. But as the year progresses, here it is, boom, here in 2024, you start to see buyer demand wane slightly, and that's strictly the effect of what's happening in our economy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good charts.
Yeah, these are, I'm really having fun with these charts. So I'm going to show a lot more of kind of what's going on. In fact, well, that just shows you where we are for Travis counties, but it doesn't give you, unless I add the other counties back in, that doesn't really give you a good idea of what's happening. So that's not something we're going to go into this week, but I would like to share something with you, which is we talked about Bastrop and the median sale price being $350, and big news in the retail space for the Domain on the north side. Tag Heuer is opening up about 1,000 square feet of new store, and the most expensive watch they have ever debuted, which was a few years ago, was $376,000. So you could wear a watch or live in a house. I'm just saying. But they're slated to open this year, so they're going to go where Kiehl's is. Kiehl's moved and relocated over on Rock Rose. It just goes to show you like the Austin economy when it comes to luxury watchmakers and jewelry designers in the Domain. You've got Hublot, Omega, David Yurman. You've got, and now this Rolex, there's a Rolex showroom at Zadok. You've got Cartier, Balenciaga, Louboutin. I mean, you've got Burberry. It's unbelievable how much from a retail stance Austin is willing to hold and feels confident enough to, be opening up this new store. So I think that's a good news. It's as an optimistic choice here in Austin. But the fact is that you've got Domain, that whole area is being built up, and it's becoming a second downtown, if you will. But on a sad note, we're going to lose the Museum of Ice Cream. So if you haven't been to the Museum of Ice Cream in Austin, Texas, that's going to close in July. So get there. And I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you out there.
I love ice cream. It's got to be soft serve though. Soft serve's the best. Sandy's, it's good. It's good stuff. I'm not sold on all the hard ice cream.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a cone. You get to the bottom of the cone. The bottom of the cone's the best part, Jennifer.
So there's a place in Europe that's doing coffee. Oh my God, we should go. We should do What's Brewing from somewhere in Europe. I should look it up. Can't believe I didn't send this to you when I found it. With disposable cups, or wait for it, edible cups.
Ooh.
So they're making it like a cone.
Nice.
And then they're pouring the coffee in. And then the beauty is they're swirling like chocolate and stuff on the sides.
I love it.
And so I don't know where that is, but we should put that on the map for 2026 for What's Brewing 2026.
Done. Oh, you had me at hello.
You had me at you could eat my coffee cup. So yeah, isn't that cool? So yeah, and we'll have to get back to one of Austin's finest coffee shops maybe next week. But let's keep going. Let's talk about what else you got going for the economy, Kevin. What are you seeing with mortgage rates these days?
The other thing I was just going to talk about, this is next week. As you can see, this is next week's large data sets that could move the market. Retail sales is always important because it's an indicator of the health of the economy. Again, if the consumer is pulling back, they account for 2/3 of GDP. So, that's something that traders often will look at. It's not going to outweigh the data that we just saw. Inflation's at bay, but it's going to be an interesting number just simply because traders always like it. However, it's going to have little weight because of the tariff effect. There was a lot of front loading of purchases. Clients were rushing because they thought possibly that prices were going to escalate so quickly because that's what they were told. So I wouldn't paint a big read on that. The bigger news, like I said, is going to be Wednesday when the Fed comes out. You got Chairman Powell come out, and it's really going to be the vernacular. They're not going to do a damn thing to the Fed funds rate. But is his rhetoric going to change on their outlook? Is he going to change slight words like instead of uncertainty remains, or is he going to turn and say, it appears that inflation, our fight against inflation is working? Things like that give traders indication of where are we going to be at the next one? Where are we going to be at the next one? And so on and so forth. And that brings us to this one is, as you can see right here, this is our September 2025. Traders believe there's a 60% chance. I've been saying it since the beginning of this year. September is going to be the first Fed funds rate cut. So that's when it's going to happen. We got 2 more next week, and then we got another one in July. I don't think they do anything at either one of those. They're going to sit tight and allow inflation to continue to show itself, and really study that labor market. The only thing that could really move them is if the labor side falls off the face of the planet. But again, I'm still in the camp of we're going to be looking at September. So those are the 2 big things. But what a blessing. If you're in the market right now, my best suggestion is make sure that you're talking to your mortgage professional. If you don't have one, this guy right here is yours. Just reach out. And what a great opportunity the next couple of days, probably later today and tomorrow with no significant data to consider locking in that interest rate. I just looked at them while I was here on the phone. If you got a loan amount over $500,000, and this is not a quote, every individual is different, right? So, but you should be at, right around 6.5 or below.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're moving into that line. And again, that's if you're dealing with somebody direct. If you're outside of that box, you're probably a little bit higher because, everyone's got to make some money. So there is a difference, but we're below the 7%. And if you really shop around, you should be able to get in the 6.5 if you got a $500,000 plus loan or higher, for sure.
Awesome. That is awesome news. I've got a couple people I need to talk. All right. So let's get to the fun fact, and then we're going to wrap it up, Kevin. So today's fun fact.
I got to teach. So I apologize. I'm over here at Lifetime. I got a class I got to teach in 8 minutes. So go ahead. What's our fun fact?
All right. Today's fun fact brought to you by Barton Springs Pool.
Ooh.
Which, if you've been in Austin or are coming to visit, has an average temperature of about 68 to 70 degrees in any given time of the year. How many gallons of water do you think the Edwards Aquifer pours into Barton Springs Pool every day?
Oh my Lord. Wow. I wouldn't even have a rational guess. I wouldn't even know.
There's no way to know. So Barton Springs Pool is fed 26 million gallons of water by the Edwards Aquifer every single day. And the pool is actually federally protected because we have the Barton Springs salamander, which is an endangered species, and you only find it at Barton Springs. So that's today's fun fact.
Ooh, how about the other day I rode over a snake? Oh, that just gave me the creeps.
All right. Well,
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it either. All right, Kevin, were the rates going to go up or go down next week? What's brewing?
I think we're going to get a little aggressive right now. There's really good news. So I would really consider, if you need to do something and you're closing in the next 2-3 weeks, I'd really look at later today or tomorrow as your day, because you never know from a fiscal standpoint what could come out, right? Some type of trade announcement, some type of, we get pissed at China and now we're back to you don't know. So I would, if you like it, you take it, is my advice. Next week, if all things align and we don't get anything fiscally and we just get the Fed coming out with the data that we just recently have, and we're data driven, I think rates get a little bit potentially better next week. And I mean, very slight. I mean, if I said we're at, like 6.5, it'd be an eighth better. I don't think we're talking like it's going to go all the way to 6, but I think it's got the ability to do that. I wouldn't take the risks though, because we've seen for the first 6 months, so.
All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning into What's Brewing. That was a technical ending there. My name is Jennifer Goodman. I'm a local realtor here in Austin, Texas. If you need help with anything, please feel free to give me a shout. Information's going to be in the show notes. Every week, I'm joined at What's Brewing by
Kevin Weedmark, nationwide mortgage specialist, and I want to talk to you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for tuning in all. And remember, you never know what somebody's going through on the other side. So above all else, please be kind. Take care.
Bye.